Hey guys, how you doing today? Mark Carney just announced that he's going to be reducing the minimum tax bracket, the first tax bracket we have federally, from 15% to 14% on July 1st of 2025. So I just wanted to talk about how that's going to look, how much that's going to save the average Canadian family. And that's all I'm going to talk about. The first article I read on it, I went through the comments. Every single person in the comments was mad about it for some reason. I'm not sure why. I guess they just hate paying lower taxes. But so we're going to talk about this. And listen, I understand. I've talked about it a million times. Life is tough. This isn't going to change anybody's life so much that they're all of a sudden not going to be stressed out about money. But it is certainly going to save every Canadian money, which is a good thing. First thing we need to understand is tax brackets. I don't really need to get into them that much because we're only talking about the first tax bracket in Canada, right? So federally, between 0 and 57,357, the federal government is going to charge 15% on that amount. Then we look at the next one, 57,375. I don't know why that number's wrong, dyslexia or something, to 114,750. You're going to pay 20.5% on that amount. But all we're talking about here is a tax savings for every Canadian because everybody makes in between 0 and 57,357, and he's reducing that tax bracket down to 14% rather than 15%. The reason why you pay more taxes than this is because provinces also have their own tax brackets. So you got to look at those. Those aren't changing as far as I know. But if you like this, then yell at your premier to lower your provincial tax bracket on their first bracket, and maybe we can get some more tax savings there. So we would think that, okay, we're reducing this amount, the 57,357, by 1%. We should all be saving 573.57 in taxes next year. That is not the case because of something called the basic personal exemption. Here, give me this. So we're all allowed to earn a specific amount of money before the government starts charging us tax on this. This is because they're not supposed to tax us for like what we need as essentials. So like food, clothing, shelter, those three things. We're not supposed to have to pay tax on the income we need for our essentials. Which drives me absolutely crazy about this is if you look at the basic personal amount federally, the maximum amount that we're not paying taxes on is $16,129. But as far as I remember, and every time I look at like sort of what they're paying out in CPP, OAS, and GIS, or what they paid out in CERB, they know for a fact that we need kind of at least $2,000 a month or $24,000 a year in like a basic amount to support living. So I don't understand why they know that the number is 24,000, but we still have to pay tax on, you know, that 8,000 in between 16,000 and 24,000. Well, the federal government does something annoying here, and so everybody has a basic personal amount federally of $14,538 no matter what. If you make less than $177,882, then you have a higher basic personal amount of $16,129. But if you start making more than $177,882, you're going to have to start paying 15% in taxes on that amount between $16,129 and $14,538. I mean, I can't imagine that this is saving the government a whole bunch of money just to make things way more complicated. And then each province has their own basic personal amount. So, you know, truth be told, Alberta has one of the best ones. Now, the reason why I put an asterisk on that 15% is because it's dropping to 14%. Who knows how long this is going to last? They change tax brackets and things in this country all the time, but probably as long as this Liberal government or this specific one is in place, then I'm sure they'll probably keep it the same. So how much is this actually going to save the average Canadian? All right. So we've got the tax savings per person, we've got our income, if we make 357 or more, minus the basic personal amount, 16,129, we've got a number of 41,228 times 1%, which is 412.28 per year, or 824.56 per household. However, this is going into effect on July 1st, 2025, which just so happens to be basically the exact halfway point of the fiscal year or the calendar year. So we are only going to save half of that amount in 2025 because they're not retroactively dropping the rate to 14 for the income that you made between January 1st and June 30th. So we are only going to save half this amount in 2025. This means that you're only going to see savings of $206.14 this year. How they're going to pay for it, I have no idea, but this is going to put a little bit extra money in the pockets of Canadians so they can maybe buy another loaf of bread and tin of coffee at the grocery store. Yes, life is expensive. I hope there's more changes coming. We'll try and keep you updated on them. Thank you very much for watching, and if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon. Cheers.